Hello and welcome to Pixel Cheesecake Jack. This is my first video for the Pixel Cheesecake channel. I will be playing Evil Genius, originally published by, can't remember the name now, but they have since, I guess, gone bust. So, company named Rebellion came in and took the rights to it. So, Evil Genius. Basically, if you've never heard or played this game, it is essentially Dungeon Keeper mixed with Austin Powers. It's set in the Cold War around the 60s, so there'll be references to that time period. Basically a game where you play as the evil genius in a generic spy movie, and it, you know, takes the mickey out of things like James Bond and that. Hence why it's quite a lot like Austin Powers. So it's just come to mind, abbreviation for this channel name, PCCJ, which does kind of sound like a kind of communist dictatorship in Asia. People's Communist Congressional Judiciary. That would work as a dictatorship, maybe? Anyway, let's start Evil Genius. So, go for a new game here, go for medium, no video hints. So when you go in, you've got a choice of 3 Evil Geniuses. Maximilian is, I think, maybe the best known of him, of the Evil Genius, is he appears on the front of the cover for the box and so forth. There are a couple more, but I will be playing as Maximilian. So, when you start off with you arriving on a boat to your secret lair island. So, let's begin. Right, so you start with a small efficient amount of gold here in bullion. Your evil genius himself, who is practically the only character you can control in this game. A small building with your money in. 3 henchmen. These are construction worker, minions. Sorry. These are construction worker minions. In a jumpsuit, which is, I think, a reference to a lot of kind of James Bond movies where the henchmen were in kind of orange and yellow jumpsuits. Then you start off with your first actual henchman. If you play as Maximilian, you get this guy. So, let's go right in and look at the objectives list. So, you'll have objectives that you need to complete over the game. So, yeah, here I have to build a barracks. I'll have to build a control room, and I will have to build... I will have to get rid of some secret agents that are snooping around the island. So I'll explain everything more as we go into detail. So this rock here, this big hunk of rock, this mountain, is where we're going to be building our secret base. So I'm going to start off by going into objects for corridor and just placing a standard door down, because that's going to stop secret agents from snooping around our base. And I'm also going to place down a fire extinguisher in case they do get in and blow anything up, because that's not very good. So now I'm going to, if you didn't say that, I'm going to left click on the rock, and here's your building tab menu for your different rooms. So I'm just going to select corridor, and I'm going to bring it all the way up here. I'm going to bring it over here all the way, and then I'm going to finish it there and continue it to make, press that to continue the building. I'm going to place another fire extinguisher there, and then I'm going to press this, which will mean my construction workers will now go and take gold bullion via these briefcases to either the helipad over here or this kind of boat depot harbour place, and then they will return with dynamite to first put into this kind of area and carve it out of the rock. And then if there's any items, I think you may have saw just a little earlier, like the fire extinguishers and that, they will take the gold bullion, go buy kind of big crates, and then kind of IKEA flat pack out, and the item will just pop out. So whilst we're waiting for, oh, there's the first man with dynamite. So whilst we're waiting for this to happen, I'm going to open this. This is the minions tab. So here you've got different types of minions. I'll explain all these later. You've got your total minions that you currently have, and you have the amount of minions that you can have in total, the capacity. So as you can see, we can have 5 in total, but we only have 3, so I'm going to put this up here to make it 5. I'm not going to increase this. This basically determines how quickly you will get minions, and the quicker you want to get them, the more money you have to pay. So if you are fine with waiting a minute for a new construction worker to arrive on the island, don't have to pay anything. But just quickly, if I rank it up to 1 second, I have to pay $4,000 a second for a new minion. So I think me doing that has wasted a bit of money, but I do have these construction workers. So we're waiting for them to build this out now. Ah, there we go. Here's the corridor. Good, good. Now this here is a layer entrance, and as you can see, it's situated right next to this, the harbour. But your minions are also going to want to use the helipad, so you don't want them to be running around the entire base. They may get caught out by agents. So by clicking on objects for the outside, I'm going to get this another layer entrance, and I'm just going to place that here at the end of this corridor. Now it does make your evil base harder to defend, but it's a lot more efficient, and you know, you can really do what you want with this game. So you can go in for the whole kind of micromanaging the base, or you can just put stuff down and see what happens. So our first objective here is to build a barracks. So if I go to the minion tab, I select barracks, and then I will carve out a space. Now rooms have to be at least 2 wide. You see here, if I make that room one wide, well, it won't work first of all because it's not attached to here. So if I just here 1 wide, won't work. But if it's 2 wide, that's fine, because they presume that you're going to want to put a door in for everything, so they make everything 2 wide. So let's just put a door in the centre there. Continue. Right, so we're going to put a door in again. Right, now we've got 2 items for the barracks at the moment: bunk beds and lockers. Now bunk beds, as you probably very well know, 2 people, 2 minions will be able to rest in these at a time, and that's important because if I find a minion, they have these different stats here. So they've got health, loyalty, intelligence, smarts, attention, and strength, and I believe them resting will increase these 3 here. Loyalty you get through kind of doing evil things, and they're like, yeah, we like evil stuff. And then health is very simple. They can lose health by getting hit by secret agents, or they can gain it in an infirmary, but that's later on. So we're going to place down a couple of bunk beds for now, just a row of bunk beds. You may be able to hear that the voiceover lady is saying not all object hotspots are available. That's the little floor spaces. That doesn't matter as long as the item doesn't go red, which I don't think I can show on it. Well, kind of like this back one here that's flashing. As long as the item doesn't go red, it is accessible. It just means they're going to have to wait one after the other to climb into the beds instead of both being able to get in at the same time. So now we're also going to put in a row of lockers. Now, what do lockers do, you may ask? Well, lockers are what enable you to get more minions. So the more lockers you have, the higher your total minion count will go up by. So if I just put that room on to construct quickly, and we will wait for our minions to go and build it. Now whilst that's happening, here we go. Right, these are the 4 secret agents that are currently on our island. Now they are from, if by indication of that little symbol there, which I think, nope, okay, they are from Smash, one of the 5 world kind of superpowers in this. believe they are still divided up into countries, but kind of there's five kind of world intelligence organizations, and that's what you're really fighting, not the countries themselves. So they've got their stats like anyone else. These are investigators. They're basically trying to find dirt on you. They've gone, we don't like the look of this guy on this island, so we'll just go check him out to make sure, you know, he's not planning anything, because he is buying an awful lot of dynamite and building stuff. So they will try and break in through your secret doors, well, not secret doors, through your doors here. Now, if we double click on the door, you can set the strength of its security. So 1 will mean anyone can go through. Secret agents, tourists, which will happen later, anyone. It even says there, helpfully. 2 dots signifies anyone in your evil organization will be able to pass. 3 dots symbolizes only you, the evil genius yourself, will be able to get through that door. And 4 dots means only you, the evil genius yourself, will be able to get through that door, but you also want it guarded, and that means minions will stand outside it. So, the investigators have entered our base, but I don't really mind for the moment, because there's nothing suspicious here. As I said though, you can get tourists come to the island later on. I don't have the options yet, but you can build hotels and kind of resort. So this just looks like a normal kind of place that the workers of the hotel would be sleeping at. You know, out of the way. So this is fine. I mean, they shouldn't have any okay, so there's a secure door, but we don't want the tourists, you know, coming in. So, right, the first 2 lockers are here, so now if I go here, you should see, although it hasn't happened, why hasn't it happened? Maybe it's just accommodating those 2 lockers for the... here we go! Gone up to 12. I needed some beds as well as lockers, but it's really, you only really need like 1 or 2 beds, and then you can just have as many lockers, but you're gonna need lots of, well, not a lot of beds, but a fair amount, so your minions can rest. So we're going to just up the construction workers to 12. And then we're going to look at the next room. So the next room we're going to build, I think we shall... Oh, how do I want to do this? Could do that. That would work. Right, so I'm going to take a corridor... No, I'm going to plan this out first. This is going to be tricky. So I'm going to take this, a control room, and I'll explain what that does in a minute. I'm just gonna count out this room. How many is that? 2, 3, 4, 8. That needs to come over by another 4. Like that. Ooh. That might be big enough. Fit the corridor down there as well, or maybe... Okay, yeah, that'll do fine for me. So, I will choose where that goes in a minute. I will build a corridor up to this, so we're going to build a corridor like that. We'll just put... Well, no, can't do that because of... It's not connected to there, is it? So we will just continue. We will put a standard door in for that room. We'll put a standard door here as well, just in case the agents want to actually go further into our base. And we'll just set both these things onto construction. We will add a couple more fire extinguishers here and here. Something I found out from playing this for quite a long time. It was released in 2004, and I think I've been playing it since then. But what I have had several problems with discs getting lost or scratched. So I finally bought it on Steam. Anyway, something I found out is you can never have enough for fire extinguishers, because later on secret agents like to blow absolutely everything up. It will set on fire and be horrible for you. Hey, cool. So I think now that we've got, you know, a fairly reasonable base for the start in here, we're just going to go ahead and move Maximilian into the barracks for now. See? Here we go. There's your minion sleeping, just regaining some strength. I'm not quite sure how he's lost some health.